Hi, this is Kathleen with Kal-Ven Tag and Title Service located at 627 North Collington Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. Zip code is 21205. Our phone number is 410-668-6000. Website is www.kalventagtitle.com. Hours are Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 7, and Sunday is 11 to 6 p.m. I'm also a licensed Pennsylvania agent here in the state of Maryland. I got interrupted, or the video was too long for the part 1. So this is the part 2 of frequently asked questions in the state of Maryland. So the last question that probably I didn't answer properly was, I bought a vehicle from an individual. I bought a vehicle from someone, but when I tried to register the vehicle, I was told the person is deceased. What do I do? Yes. This happens when you guys buy a vehicle from someone and you don't put it in your name immediately. You bought this vehicle, the deceased signed it, but you never put it in your name, and then few months later you back and now you want to register the vehicle, and then when we put the VIN number, the system is saying that the person is deceased. So in that case, we're gonna need the death certificate. So you are free to call the deceased number if you have that number and see if a family member will pick that call. If not, on that title, write a certified letter to the deceased. I'm sure maybe a family member will see the letter and open it, and then make sure when you're writing this letter, you let them know that you bought the vehicle from the deceased and the deceased signed the title, but you never got it registered. And then when you now went to a tag and title, they're telling you the deceased, the person is deceased. Tell them, look, I need to register this vehicle. Can you guys please call me at so and so number and give me the death certificate so that I can get the vehicle registered? Or meet with them, whatever. If you write a certified letter and that letter gets returned back to you, nobody, like a family member, did not open the letter to see what's going on, and that title is returned back to you, take that title to MVA and explain to MVA the situation, and MVA should be able to help you. I'm sure they have a system whereby they will go into they will log into they will go to the state, check the death certificate, make sure there's a date on that title. It's the date that is gonna save you now. Make sure the deceased put a date. If there's no date, you're gonna go through hell to get this vehicle registered. But if there was a date, MVA now will match the date on the death certificate to see if the deceased signed this title prior to his or her death. But if this title now was signed after the death of the deceased, then MVA will be asking for more documents. So that answers the question. Okay, what if I can't reach any of the family members? Okay, you have answered that question. So what paperwork do I need to buy a car from a deceased family member? Okay, if you're buying a vehicle, usually someone will pass away, and then you see family members, they'll start selling without the right paperwork. That's why we ask a lot of questions. When you come into us, if you don't have the right documentations, we send you away. So if someone is selling you a vehicle from like a deceased passed away and they're selling you a deceased vehicle, they have to give you the authority that gives them, they have to give you the paperwork that gives them the authority to sign the title, such as the will. If the deceased had a will, they give you a original copy of the will, or letters of administration, or executor, or power of attorney, and then the death certificate. They give you the death certificate, or they give you one of these: a will, or letters of administration, or executor, or power of attorney. They have other ones, whatever be the situation, because some of them will pass away without a will. So if there's no will, then they have to go to the probate court of the deceased to get what is called State of Maryland letters of administration to be able to get the authority to sell that vehicle to you. Remember, if the vehicle is 7 years or newer, make sure they give you a notarized bill of sale. definitely you must get a bill of sale from this transaction. If the vehicle is older, we still need a bill of sale, because that will show the person selling this vehicle to you. The name will be mentioned on these letters of administration, so they will give you a bill of sale. If the vehicle is 7 years or newer, make sure you get a notarized bill of sale. Otherwise, the vehicle will be evaluated on the current book value, and you pay 6.5% sales tax of the original book value. So make sure you get a notarized bill of sale from the executor or from whoever is giving you, whatever authority that they're giving you that gives them the permission to sign this title over to you, such as a will or letters of administration or executor, or POA. POA is power of attorney. Whatever documentation they're giving you, make sure it's the original. Any copies, we don't deal with copies. It has to be the original document, okay? How can I register my vehicle if I have a flag or flags? The system will not, if the only flag you have, say for instance, they flagged you for, like, Control of Maryland flagged you, the system will allow us to register the vehicle. But if you're flagged, for insurance violation or insurance lapse or parking ticket, you have to go pay all those tickets in order for the system to allow you to get tax. The only thing the system will allow you to do is to transfer the title to your name. The system can allow you to do title only, but you must not get plates until all those flags are taken care of. When am I required to have a notarized bill of sale to register my vehicle? If the vehicle is 7 years or newer, you must bring us a notarized bill of sale, a notarized bill of sale from the person selling the vehicle to you, for us to accept that price that you are claiming. If there's no notarized bill of sale and you can't find the seller, you misplace the seller's phone number, be willing to pay the current book value of what that vehicle, be ready to pay the sales tax on that current book value of that vehicle. You pay 6.5 of whatever that vehicle is worth. That's what we tax if you don't have a notarized bill of sale on a vehicle that is 7 years or newer.
Motion detected at front door.
My registration has expired a year plus. How can I renew it? If your vehicle is within 12 months, the system will allow you to renew at a tag and title place or agent. But if your vehicle has expired over 12 months, you can only renew your registration at MVA. Okay? I had a temp tag, but the police confiscated my plate due to lack of insurance and impounded my car. What do I do? Okay, that's a big problem right there. You can't be driving in the state of Maryland without auto insurance. So if the police confiscated your plate due to lack of insurance or failure to do VIP, which is emission test, those are the two reasons why the police will confiscate your plate. You fail to do emission test and your registration has not been suspended. That's the situation whereby the police will impound your vehicle. And then another scenario is when you fail to put auto insurance and you're driving the vehicle and MVA wrote you to bring in insurance, to give them your new insurance and you refuse, then MVA will flag you. So when MVA flags you, it will ask the police to, your registration will not be suspended for the police to put you off the road, okay? You have to pay. And then, is this a very tight situation? If the police impounded your vehicle and your registration is still valid, the system will allow me to issue a substitute tag for you. But if your registration has expired and you never got the vehicle inspected, there's no way you will get tags. I don't know how you're going to get this vehicle to pass the Maryland safety inspection in order for you to be able to extend that registration. Because if you don't have the Maryland safety inspection, we cannot give you tags because you were driving on a temporary plate. You did not get the vehicle inspected. You did not get it inspected so that the system will allow you to extend it to 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Instead, you kept driving without insurance and then you now got pulled over. So at this point, there's nothing anybody can give you until you bring us the Maryland safety inspection. unless your registration was still valid. If your registration is valid, then the system will allow me to do will issue a substitute tag. That way you'll be able to go get it to pass the inspection, so that the system will allow you to now extend it to 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. How do I get a lien release for a vehicle I purchased from someone without the lien release? Yes. When someone is selling you a vehicle, check on the front of the title. If you see an institution name such as Wells Fargo, Commerce, Bank of America, if you see an institution name on that title, please ask for the lien release, because this person might still be paying on this loan and decided to sell you this vehicle. If they sell you that vehicle and you did not get a lien release to show that they have paid off on that loan, you are responsible to pay whatever their standing balance is. Yes, that's your headache. That's your ignorance in not asking for the lien release. So when you're buying a vehicle, look at the title. Do you see on the right side, like the lower side of the right hand side, it will say liens. If you look on the left side, you don't see any name printed on it. If it's a mainland title, then you are good. But if you see an institution name and the person is telling you verbally, I've paid off the lien, I've paid off the loan, and if you paid off the loan, tell them, okay, I need a letter proving that this loan has been satisfied, that they have paid off on the loan. Otherwise, if you don't collect that lien, if you don't collect the lien release and they sell you this vehicle, you're on your own. So in a situation like that, you can't find the person that sold you the vehicle. Be praying to your God that this person has already satisfied the loan, by paying off on this vehicle. What you do now is, if it's Bank of America, you contact Google, contact Bank of America. Make sure on the back of the title, your information is printed, your signature is there, plus the seller's signature. You contact the lien holder. The lien holder will look in the, say, look, I bought this vehicle from so and so person. The lien holder will ask you to fax them a copy of that title, front and back of it, plus your driver's license, and the lien holder will send you a mail. If the lien holder, most of them will not even answer you because you're not the account holder. So what to do? Be nice to them, beg them, sir, say, look, all I need to know is either yes or no if the loan has been paid off. They want to hear that. If the loan hasn't been paid off, how much is their standing balance? If you are willing to pay their standing balance, you are free to pay off that balance. Make sure if the balance is more, that's your business. That's why, if you make the wrong decision, you pay through your loans for it. So if the outstanding balance is low and it's something you can pay, go ahead and pay off that loan, so that the lien holder can give you the lien release, so that you can get it to register your vehicle. But if the outstanding balance is much and this person sold this vehicle and there's no way for you to get hold of this person, I would advise you to contact NVA Investigations. I think they'll be able to track that person down, and then from there, it will be solved. That's the solution. But every time you buy a car from someone, make sure there's no lien on it, because sometimes when you sign that title, when they sign that title and give it to you, you're on your own. So make your research. Find out, is there a lien on this title? You look at it. If you're not sure, go to a nearby tag and title and say, please look at this title and let me know if it's okay for me to pay this person. If you look at the title, will tell you, no, this person is paying on this loan. Don't let them tell you verbally, oh, I've paid off on it. No, we need proof, evidence, proof. So if the lender looks into the system and sees that this person has paid off on the loan, the lender will send you the lien release. You request for the lien release. And then by then they should be asking you to forward the copy of the title front and back. Make sure you complete everything, plus a copy of your license. Send it to the lien holder, and then the lien holder will send the lien release to your address. And then with that lien release, you take it with the title and then come get the car registered. What happens if the seller didn't give me a notarized bill of sale on a vehicle that is 7 years or newer? How do I get it registered? If they say you're a vehicle and there's no notarized bill of sale, you have the option of going to the seller to request for a notarized bill of sale. You have the option. You go there and ask for the bill of sale. But if you have misplaced the seller's information and you don't know how to go about it, you're free to look on the front of the title. You see the name on there, and then write to them a certified letter telling them that you need them to contact you so that they can give you a notarized bill of sale. If you don't want to go through that, you are free to come to us. The system will evaluate it. Once I put the information in my system, the system will ask me if you have a notarized bill of sale. If I say I don't, you did not give me a notarized bill of sale, then the system will now evaluate it on what it's worth, and then you'll be taxed 6.5% of what the vehicle is worth, and then the car will be registered. So if you're willing to do that, you're fine. But if you don't want to pay all of that, just find a way to contact the seller so that the seller can give you a notarized bill of sale. You're free to bring the seller here. If you can contact the seller, bring the seller here. I'll do a notarized bill of sale for you and then get the car registered for you. If I misplace one of my plates, can I be able to get a substitute tag if my registration is still valid? Yes. If your registration is still valid, say for instance you did a 30-day, this is more like a 30-day registration, and for some reason you misplaced your 2 plates or maybe one of your plates, for instance, and you're trying to get another set of plates. As long as your registration is still valid, the system should be able to allow me to issue a substitute tag. But if your registration has expired, there's no way. There's nothing I can do for you. The only way the system will allow me to issue another set of plates is if you bring me the Maryland safety inspection. That this vehicle has passed the Maryland safety inspection, then I should be able to issue plates and then give you 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. But as long as you misplace one of your plates or both plates and your registration is valid, yes, you're qualified for a substitute tag. Can I be able to get an extension on a temporary registration? No. If you get, when we give you 30-day temp tags, it's your job to go immediately to inspect the vehicle, so that if the vehicle fails that inspection, the inspector is going to list some things for you to be fixing it gradually. You'll be fixing it gradually until the due date. So by the due date, this vehicle must pass the Maryland safety inspection. There's no extension here in the state of Maryland. But the only time MVA might use their discretion to give you an extension is if you have spent so much money, you changed the engine, you did this, did that, and it's taking too long for it to pass the safety inspection. You take all your receipts, go to MVA. MVA will look at it. It's up to them to decide to give you a waiver that will allow you more time to fix the car and get it to pass the Maryland safety inspection. If I misplace one of my plates, I think I've answered. Yeah, this is like you misplaced one of your 30-day temp tag. You had a temp tag, but you misplaced one of the plates or both. If you misplace the plate and the vehicle is still valid, the system will allow me to issue a substitute tag. But if the plate has expired, there's no way the system will allow me to issue another plate. I think that's all about it for now. It's like every time a customer comes to me, they explain things to me. That's how I kind of like know how to resolve all these issues. So this is all I can remember for now. So if you have any questions, please call us at 410-668-6000. And or you're free to go to our website at www.kalventagtitle.com to leave us a message on the comment section. This will end it. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.